I feel very good because it's not very common these days that people live up to 75. The fact that I've lived up to 75 is a good feeling. I've seen things in the period that I've lived. I've participated in doing things. I've seen successes, I've seen failures, I've seen mistakes. I've learned how to correct mistakes. I've learned from mistakes. I think it is good to look back, just glance back the period through which I've traveled. I have a good feeling, particularly because I chose in my life to throw everything of mine in the struggle at my young age, and I stretched my energy, my imagination as a young man to the last degree. I've gone to prison. I've spent years in prison. I've gone to exile. I've belonged to underground movement. I trained, I became a soldier. I've worked in the movement, and the movement in return recognized my contribution and gave me responsibilities. Some of the responsibilities I never dreamed of in my life, but I've indeed been given by the organization, not because of anything except them recognizing what I'd gone through and perhaps knowing what I was capable of doing, etc., etc. So I feel very good, particularly at this point in time when people are talking about my name, no matter from what angle. That in itself is a recognition that I exist, that I do things. If perhaps I've committed mistakes, mistakes are committed by people who work. Over the years, I have been trying my level best to do the best. Whether I've succeeded or not, that remains for the people to judge. So I am very happy. Happy too to hear that I think for the first time, the ANC, my organization, has participated to organize a kind of a celebration in a very historic place where the Freedom Charter was adopted. I love the Freedom Charter and my comrades know it. So that to me is the final good thing that the organization has done for me. This is an important recognition of what I do. Those who see something wrong are the opposition. I would have been surprised if the opposition in South Africa would praise the opposition that is in power. It's never done in the world. So there is nothing surprising. They must, particularly if the ANC succeeds, they must find everything to try to counter and to try to look down upon it, to try to criticize, to try to... There is nothing new. I can see the excitement of people as if there is something new. That's the job of the opposition. If they did not do so, there would not be an opposition. I understand democracy very well. So to me, it's not a big issue. The fact that they have mounted their criticism so high, it is because the organization has done very well. That's why they are ready to do everything they can. It's democracy, and that's how we should understand it. And I'm happy that at least this is done during my time, because as I would say, throughout my life, I've never had it easy. And therefore, I've gone through a lot of difficulties, a lot of criticisms, even criticized on things that were not of my making. So, to me, this is democracy at play. That's how we should understand it. Well, to South Africans, I thank you. I thank them very much, all of them, for the good messages of courage. To me, that is the recognition I need, nothing more. Just for people to recognize that here is this poor young man who never went to school, but who has worked hard to do what any other empowered person can do. And to me, that is a recognition of it. And I thank the South Africans very much who have noticed what I've so far done. Very little contribution. No matter how little it is, as the Zulu say, kuthiwa kubonga okukhulu kubonga okuncane. Kubonga okuncane kubonga okukhulu. So I'm very happy and very grateful, and I feel humbled that people, whilst the opposition is saying something different, they are recognizing and saying, Unwelulude. Thank you very much for that. When I joined the struggle, I wanted the oppressed to be free. And it is not a joke. People today talk as if there was no oppression in South Africa. The black people, the black majority, Africans in particular, were deprived of economic rights for years, and they were a majority. In every country that you go to, the people who are a majority in those countries are in control of the economy. And that's why the economy will grow, will be bigger. But in a country where the minority controls 70% of the economy is going to look like funny. And that's why I am as clear as anything that we need radical economic transformation to address the equality in economy, to address the sharing of the economy of the country, to address poverty, to address inequality, to address unemployment. Without bringing radical economic transformation, we'll never address those issues. Because if we talk poverty in South Africa, poverty was brought by the land dispossession. Because land is everything to any nation. And those are the issues, and I'm not apologetic about them because they are the gospel truth. That's what we need to do. And I'm very happy. If those whoever they are, they hate me for that, I have no problem. They hate me for what I decided at my young age to join the struggle for. So to me, it's not an issue. And therefore, the political positions that I've taken on the land issue, if you want, on the financial economy, if you want, on everything, are absolutely correct. And I'm not apologetic about it because politically I understand it is very clear and it is correct. I think what should be clear to us is that as long as the economic rights are a problem, there is inequality, that is a fertile ground of racism. We need to deal with the economy. If we deal with the economy, you automatically deal with racism. Racism is not a strange fellow from poverty, from economic inequality. They all are related. If you deal with the economic rights, and that's why our Constitution said clearly, they are what we call economic rights, because that goes together with the life itself. If we don't deal with the economic equality, racism will remain in this fertile ground. And therefore, we fight racism. If we say we need non-racialism, we are saying, in fact, we need economic equality. And that is what we should be fighting for. That's my wish. I wish that South Africa, no matter how it can move in different directions, that finally South Africa will be a non-racial country. And it will be a beautiful rainbow nation.